7 o'clock on a Wednesday evening, and that could only mean one thing, the Advisory and Finance Committee meeting of the town of Plymouth. Welcome to our January 10 edition, and Happy New Year to you all. I trust all of you other 14 committee members are well rested after some time off. We have a busy schedule, as you know, for the next several weeks, so let's get down to work. So we're going to start right off with the roll call to see who is there today. We will start with Ms. Butler. Are you present or not?
I am present.
Thank you. Mr. Cabana?
Present.
Mr. Dunn?
Present.
Mr. Green?
Here.
Mr. Howard?
Present.
Mr. Lally? Mr. Lawler?
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Pizarro?
Present.
Thank you. Ms. Richards?
Present.
Ms. Rogers? Ms. Shaw? Ms. Tompkins?
Present.
And Mr. Young?
Present.
And Mr. Zuccaroli?
Present.
Thank you so much. So I'll read the usual disclosure, which should take me about half of the meeting. So here we go. This meeting is being conducted in a hybrid format, as you can see. Some of us on Zoom, some of you in person. This meeting was airing on Comcast 9. That's a new number, Comcast 9 now. Verizon 47. And on PAC TV's YouTube channel, which can be viewed at pactv.org/stream. Now, the ground rules here are any speaker giving public comment is allotted up to 5 minutes in which to speak. Public comment can be made at the beginning or end of each meeting or in regard to a particular agenda item the speaker wishes to be heard on. Anyone who wants to attend the meeting virtually, including members of the public who wish to give public comment, can use one of the following methods which to do so. The Zoom app, so you download Zoom meeting app and press join and enter the meeting code 99529860638, and the meeting passcode is 100131. Or you can join via the website, which is www.zoom.us. Click join a meeting. Enter those same numbers, 99529860638, and use the meeting passcode 100131. Or you can join by telephone, voice only, unfortunately. And that's it. Dial in 929-205-6099. and enter the same meeting code 995-2986-0638 and the passcode 100131. So now, if I haven't bored you to tears, are there any members of the public who would wish to start us off with a comment? Okay, hearing none, let's get to work. The agenda items for tonight. Let's approve the minutes of the December 13th, 2023 meeting. Then we'll review annual town meeting articles 2, 4, 6, 12. So that could be the winning lottery number tonight. So all of those are housekeeping items. And since I'm a horrible housekeeper, this is going to be a challenging meeting for me. There must be another reason why my wife keeps me around, but it isn't housekeeping. So I'm going to have all of you help me out with this, and I appreciate helping you get me through this meeting. Approval of the December 13th minutes. Do you have any edits that you have not sent over to Jeanette? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Mr. Cabana? Mr. Cabana moves to approve the minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. And that is Ms. Butler. is making the second on the motion. Any discussion on the minutes of December 13th? Okay, hearing no discussion, we'll take the roll call. This is a vote to approve or not approve of the December 13th minutes. Ms. Butler, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Cabana?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Lawler?
Abstain.
Mr. Pizarro?
Abstain.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
And Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mr. Zuccarelli?
Yes.
And the minutes are approved. Thank you so much for,
Mr. Chairman, this is Mr. Howard. Just in
Oh.
case you did, I voted yes.
I'm sorry, I checked you off, but I missed you. Okay, Mr. Howard is a yes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yeses and 2 abstains. Okay, so in your packet, you will see Article 2, Reports of Boards, Officers, and Committees. This article is to hear the reports of several boards and officers and committees of the town and take other action relative thereto. So, in other words, we're permitting these committees to file their reports with the town. So you're basically voting on whether you vote to allow them to send their reports to the town or you don't allow them to. So the okay, so is there anybody in present who wants to talk about this before we get a motion to approve? Okay, so Mr. Dunn, could I get a motion to approve Article 2?
Motion to recommend approval of Article 2.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Young, could you be so kind as to second that motion?
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. Any discussion on Article 2? Okay, hearing no issues, we'll go right to the vote. So we are voting yes, approve, permit these boards, officers, and committees to send their reports to the town, or you disapprove. Ms. Butler, do you say yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Cabana?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Lawler?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mr. Zuccarelli?
Yes.
Thank you so much. That's unanimous approval on Article 2. So now let's move on to Article 4, continuation of committees. And this article is to see what action the town will take pursuant to Chapter 173 of the general bylaws regarding the formation, reformation, organization, continuation, or discharge of existing committees created by vote of town meeting, or to take any other action relative thereto. So in other words, we're authorizing certain committees, and there are 3 that I will name, to continue to meet to perform the work of these committees. And those committees are the Plymouth Harbor Committee, the Manomet Steering Committee, and the West Plymouth Steering Committee. Is there anybody on any of those committees that would like to make a comment? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Butler, would you like to make a motion to approve Article 4?
I make a motion to approve Article 4.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Green, would you like to second that motion, please?
I second the motion.
Thank you so much. Any discussion on Article 4? Hearing none, we'll take the roll call. A vote of yes is authorizing these committees to continue to meet to perform their work. A no is not permitting them to meet to continue to perform the work of their committees. Ms. Butler, how do you vote on Article 4?
Yes.
Mr. Cabana,
Yes.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Lawler,
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro,
Yes.
Ms. Richards,
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
and Mr. Zuccarelli.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Unanimous approval of Article 4. Okay. We shall move on to Article 6, salaries of elected town officials. To see what action the town will take pursuant to General Law C, Chapter 41, Section 108, with regard to fixing the salaries of elected town officials or take any other action relative thereto. So in your packets, you will see that there are no changes to the salaries of elected officials for fiscal 25. The recommendation is $4,500 for the chairman of the select board, $4,000 for select board members, $2,000 for the moderator. So a vote yes is to approve those numbers. A vote no is to not approve that. Is there anybody present from the public or from any of those organizations that would like to comment? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Lawler, would you like to make a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Mr. Lawler. And Ms. Tompkins, would you like to second that motion?
Yes, I second.
Thank you so much for that. Any discussion on the salaries of elected town officials? Hearing none, we will go to the vote. A vote yes approves Article 6. A vote no rejects Article 6. Ms. Butler, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mr. Cabana,
Yes.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
Mr. Lawler,
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro,
Yes.
Ms. Richards,
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
and Mr. Zuccarelli.
Yes.
It's a unanimous approval of Article 6. Okay, so let's get to the last article, and that is Article 12, Chapter 90 Roads. So this article is to see if the town will vote to accept, okay, keyword, accept state funding and expend such sum or sums of money allocated or to be allocated to the town from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts under the provisions of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 90, or under any other state roadway reimbursement programs for fiscal year 2025, and to authorize the Board of Selectmen to enter into a contract or contracts with the Massachusetts Department of Transportation Highway Division for such purposes, and further, to authorize the treasurer, with the approval of the Board of Selectmen, to borrow in anticipation of 100% reimbursement of said amounts or take any other action relative thereto. So this is, again, we're voting to allow the town to accept state funds for town's highways. Is there anybody from the public or from DPW that would like to make a comment? I know we have James Downey, Assistant DPW Director, with us. Would anybody like to hear from him on this article? Okay. Hearing none. Mr. Zuccarelli, would you like to motion to approve?
Mr. Chairman, before we
Yeah,
go
yes.
to
Go ahead, Mr. Howard.
yes. Earlier this week, I was informed that the state is looking at potentially $1 billion shortfall.
Right. Yep.
So without the impact of that shortfall being recognized at the town level, I think I would be concerned with the provision of borrowing 100% of last year's appropriation. Does this article lock us into borrowing 100%, or do we borrow as needed until the state appropriation amount is known?
I'm going to bring Mr. Downey in. I don't know if you can help us with this, but I'm looking at to borrow in anticipation of 100% reimbursement. So I would suspect that's not necessarily based on last year, but based on a number for fiscal year 2025. But maybe we could get some clarification.
We don't know what the amount is for fiscal year 2025 yet.
That's correct. But I don't think they're going to spend the funds until they know what funds they're going to be getting.
And they wouldn't borrow 100% without knowing that amount as well. Is that your
That's my understanding. Yes.
Okay.
I don't think it would be good business for the town not to do it that way.
Right. So without obviously we wouldn't want to borrow more than we would need either, and that appropriation is for the entire year. So I wouldn't expect that we would borrow the whole amount up front. But can we confirm that?
James Downey from the town of Plymouth.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Downey.
Hearing the discussion, I would be in agreement with the understanding that we probably wouldn't be borrowing the money until we know how much we're going to get. But I would confirm with finance. I could bring that back to you. But I think typically we've always had the wording this way, and I don't think we've ever borrowed the money or spent the money until we got our appropriation first.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Downey, I'm going to task you with bringing that information back to Jeanette to disperse to us for our next meeting, if you could.
Very good. I can do that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Nice. That was a very good point, Mr. Howard. I appreciate you bringing that up. Did you have a follow-up?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Dunn, I see your digital hand is arising.
A quick commentary. Who would have thought that billions of dollars in regressive tax cuts would have led to a budget shortfall? No one could have predicted that. But on a separate note, the governor has said that she is not cutting anything from local aid in the new budget.
That's encouraging. Okay, any other comments during our discussion period? Hearing none.
We don't have a motion yet. Mr. Howard asked the question. He asked the question before I made the motion.
Okay, so Mr. Zuccaroli, could you make a motion?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. And do we have a second on that motion from Mr. Cabana?
Yes.
Okay, and now we're in discussion. If there are any other comments that anybody wants to make, I'm not seeing any. We'll go to the roll, and we're approving the town's ability to accept state funding under Chapter 90 for highway funds. So a yes would say you approve Article 12, a no reject Article 12. Ms. Butler, how do you vote tonight?
I vote yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Cabana?
Yes.
Mr. Dunn?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Lawler?
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro?
Yes.
Ms. Richards?
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Zuccaroli?
Yes.
And that is unanimous approval of Article 12. Thank you very much. So we have gone through all the articles on our agenda for tonight. You did receive via email from Jeanette a list of all of the articles week by week by week. We have a pretty busy schedule. We got the housekeeping ones out of the way first, and then we have some things that we're going to be getting into more intensely. So under old, new, and other business, so we're trying to figure out whose subcommittee meetings are going to be all in person or all on Zoom. PAC TV has informed us that we're not going to be able to do hybrid with the subcommittee meetings. So we've gotten word back from a number of you already. Still waiting for a couple of responses from the committee chairs as to whether your meeting is going to be done all in person or all on Zoom. I'm waiting for subcommittee C, D, E, and F. So if you could get that information ASAP over to Jeanette, she can start working with PAC TV to make sure that these meetings are recorded as they should be for public consumption. Okay. On the next on your schedule, I see a digital hand. Did I just see a hand? Nope.
I was just going to say that Subcommittee C is going to be in person at the Rope Walk Room.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. The next meeting that we are going to...
Mr. Chairman, sorry,
Yes,
Steve.
go ahead.
Do you have recommendation for the subcommittees on whether to do Zoom or in person?
I do not. It's really a preference of the committee. It doesn't matter to me as chair whether you meet in person or by Zoom. It's whatever you all agree on.
Thank you.
Some groups have gone Zoom and some have gone all in person. If I were a betting person, I would have bet all of them would have been Zoom. But we have right now 3 out of the 4 that have come back are in person. So it's a good thing I'm not betting. I should just play the lotto.
Let's see.
Yeah, you'll need to talk to your subcommittee person and see what they want to do.
Can I reach out to each of them? I should reach out to each of them individually so as
Absolutely.
not to create an open meeting violation.
Correct. Right? Correct. It should be a group decision. And that's how it is with the others. It's a group decision. So you all have to be on board with one or the other. Okay. So the next big task for us is the joint budget meeting on January 17. That is on Zoom. And you were sent, I don't know if we were sent the, Jeanette, did you send us the instructions for the Zoom call? Is it the same instructions that we have for this call?
Steve, I believe that's Tuesday the 16th.
It's Tuesday the 16th, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Hi, Steve. No, they are different, and I did send the agenda out to everybody.
Okay, it's on the agenda then.
Yes.
Thank you. That's a really important meeting for us. This and you'll hear a little more in a minute, but this budget session is absolutely critical that we have our fingers really on the pulse on this one. But we'll get to that in a moment. The other thing is, as Jeanette sent out today, is to review the capital projects. We are going to be talking about capital projects in our next weekly meeting on January 17th, Article 9. And Jeanette has asked if there are any items on those line items that you want a presentation, that you need to request it by Monday, and that department representative will make a presentation for us. I know somebody, was it you, Mr. Howard? Somebody had already reached out for a presentation on, no, it was Mr. Lally, I believe, had asked for a presentation on one of the items. So if we're not going to have representation from every department at our meeting. So it's important if there's something in there you want explained in more detail, you need to let Jeanette know that by Monday so she can have the appropriate representative at our meeting. Okay, so that's all I have for old or new. Does anybody have any new business that they would like to discuss?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr.
I
Romer.
have some new news that I'd like to discuss with the team.
Please.
Thank you very much.
Floor is all yours.
I would like to address my colleagues here as a team, and I would like to make or try to make this team understand how important the 16th is and how important it is to understand exactly what is going on with this budget that we're working with right now. This budget that we're working on right now has significance to it. It has significance to it in the fact that it has the possibilities of being a very unique budget. And it's different than any other budget in the past. And that's very important for me to let everyone know it's different than any other budget in the past because it might have us do different things that we've never done before. And I need this committee to understand that. If this budget is passed, this budget will represent a 7% increase in the monies that the town will have to go out and secure above and beyond the regular monies it's going to take to run this town. 7%. What does that represent? That represents between $15 and $20 million. And that has the possibility of representing this town for the first time in a long time, bumping up against 2.5. I have been intimately involved in the last several weeks with the school budget. I have been intimately involved in talking to the town about the school budget. And there are some things going on that we as a team need to address. We need to step up as a team to represent ANF as an entity, and we need to do our jobs and watch what's going on. And more importantly, understand what's going on with the school budget and with the town. The current proposals that are on the table are significant. They're talking about wiping out $8.6 million in reserve that we have. They're talking about an additional 7% increase in taxes. They're talking about the possibility, again, of bumping up against the 2.5 prop. This is different. These are different things that are approaching us right now. It's our responsibility as a separate entity. We're a separate entity. We're completely by ourselves. We're an entity that makes decisions by ourselves and not influenced by anyone. And it's our jobs to understand what's going on. What's going on right now is significant. And we all need to pay attention to what's going on. To wipe out our nest egg of 8.6 million and to add 7% above and beyond what we already have to do to keep the doors open in this town is significant. This is unique. The school budget, again, very unique, very different. The wanting of more and more where there's there's not an increase in student population, but there's certainly an increase in the budget numbers. We have to look at those things. We have to understand them. We have a responsibility as a team to look at these issues. And I think it's time. I think that the public is going to be looking at us and seeing what kind of job we're going to do, especially now. We have new members. We have some seasoned members. We know how to look at this. And I'm bringing it to the table right now as a concerned member of the team. That this is all hands on deck on this one. And I've been intimately involved with the numbers, so again, I guess you're going to have to trust me with what I'm saying. But we need to get an understanding. We need to get together. We as a body need to come together on this. We have to strategically understand this and strategically put our minds together on this particular issue. And it's going to take a team to do it. Let's all get involved with this budget. As the chairman said, the 16th is very important. It is very important. But more importantly, this budget is different. There's been nothing like it. We're bouncing up against territories we've never been in before. I am worried. I think we really need to understand this. Mr. Chairman,
Well,
thank you
Mr.
very much for this time. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I can vouch for Mr. Lawler's intense scrutiny of this budget, and I have joined him in getting in behind the numbers as well. I share his concern, not just for fiscal 25, but for fiscal 26 as well. And I think the thing that we don't want to keep doing is putting the burden on the taxpayers of this town. And so that this is really, really important. And I do encourage all of you to be there on the 16th. And I know that Mr. Lawler will share more the numbers. He's put together a really good chart. We've talked with the town about it, and it's a very compelling case. So this is not something in this entire budget, in this entire cycle that we're in. I believe that the budget is probably the most important thing that we're going to be working with this entire season. So really encourage everybody to be there on the 16th. I don't want anybody to vote on anything that they're not absolutely sure of the numbers and the impact. It's not one of these, well, our vote doesn't count. And just as Mr. Lawler said, we are an independent organization. We don't follow the select board. They voted yesterday. We don't follow them. We are our own group of 15 very intelligent, very civic-minded people, and it's up to us to make up our decision independently. So having said that, really hope to see you on the 16th. Is there any other new business that anybody wants to bring up at this point? Okay. Is there any public comment? Do we have any public in the audience? I don't see anybody there. So I'm going to look for a motion to adjourn. Who would like to motion to adjourn?
I will make that motion to
Okay,
adjourn.
and that's Ms. Richards.
Yes.
And how about a second to that motion?
I will second it.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Lawler. And any discussion on adjourning? Anybody want to go any longer?
Can I say something?
Oh, yes, you may say something.
Okay. I think we need to recognize Christine Richards, who got her degree majoring in criminal justice administration and a minor in public administration.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm not going to say anything else now. Take the fifth. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. It was a
So we're gonna-
6-year journey that I really enjoyed very much. So I will be paying it forward when I retire. That will be my my new project. Yeah. Thank
Excellent.
you.
Well, I'll stay on the right side of the criminal justice system, is all I have to say. Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn, and I'm going to go to Ms. Butler. Would you like to adjourn or not?
Absolutely.
Mr. Cavan,
Yes.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Howard,
Yeah.
Mr. Lawler,
Yes.
Mr. Pizarro,
Yes.
Ms. Richards,
Yes.
Ms. Tompkins,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Zuccaroli.
Yes.
That is unanimous to adjourn. It is 7:38, and I am hitting the gavel. Thank you so much. We will see you on the 16th.